Good morning, Mr. Ramirez. Thank you for coming today. Before we start, I want you to relax and take a deep breath. I know job interviews can be stressful, but this is just a conversation. We want to know more about you, your experience, and how you could fit into our company. So let's begin with something simple. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself? It is important. Who are you? Where do you come from? And what brings you here today? Good morning, Mr. Woodman. Thank you very much for receiving me. Well, my name is Daniel Ramirez. I am 29 years old and I come from a small town. But now I live in this city. I studied business administration at university, and I have been working for the past 5 years in customer service and sales. I would describe myself as a responsible, hardworking, and curious person. I came here today because I really admire this company and I want to grow professionally in a great place like this. I mean, a place where I can learn more and also contribute my skills. Thank you, Daniel. That sounds good. Let me ask you this. Why did you choose to apply for this position in our company and not somewhere else? Tell me, what makes you interested in us specifically? Honestly, I decided to apply here because I have read a lot about your company. I know you are expanding internationally, and that's really good. Also, I know you have a reputation for treating employees well. I also saw that you offer training and opportunities for professional growth, and that is very important for me. Believe me, I don't want just the salary. I want to learn, improve my skills, and be part of a team that is doing something important. That is what really motivated me to apply for this job position. I see. That's interesting. Now, can you tell me about your previous job? What were your responsibilities? What did you learn? And more important, why did you decide to leave that job? In my previous job, I worked as a sales associate in a retail company. My main responsibilities were talking with customers, helping them find the products they needed, explaining promotions, and also preparing reports for my manager. I did it once a day. I learned a lot about communication and problem solving because sometimes customers were angry or confused, and I had to stay calm and help them. It was something crucial. I also learned to work under pressure, especially during holiday seasons. I left that job because I felt I had reached a limit. That's the truth. There was not much room for growth, and I wanted a bigger challenge. Thank you for being honest. Honesty is something we value here. Now, let me ask you something a little more difficult. What is your biggest weakness? Please, don't give me a perfect answer. Most candidates do that. I want something real, something you are still working on. Yes, of course. Well, I think my biggest weakness is that sometimes I try to do too many things at the same time. Sometimes I want to be productive, but then I realize I need to slow down and focus on priorities. In the past, this made me feel stressed. I felt I was too busy, but now I am learning to organize better, to use a planner, and to ask for help when I need it. I realized asking for help is important. I think it's something I am improving step by step, little by little. That's a fair answer. Now, let's talk about your strengths. We need to know about your skills. What are your strongest skills? Why should we hire you instead of another candidate? Well, I think my strongest skills are communication and teamwork. I enjoy working with people and I know how to listen to them. Yeah, many times in my last job, customers told me that I made things easy for them, that I explained clearly. Also, I always support my colleagues when they need help because I think a good team can achieve more than a person working alone. Another strength is that I never stop learning. I like to read, I like to take courses online, and I am always trying to improve myself. Good. Now, let me give you a situation. Pay attention, please. Imagine that you have a big project with a very short deadline. Your boss is asking you to finish it quickly, but at the same time, your colleague is asking for help with another urgent task. I know this might be a difficult situation. What would you do? Yes, without a doubt, that is a difficult situation. But I think I would first talk to my boss and explain clearly what is happening. I could ask which task has the highest priority. Because I don't want to make mistakes rushing. If both are urgent, I could try to divide my time in the best way. Maybe working on one in the morning and the other in the afternoon. And of course, I could communicate with my colleague to explain how I can help. Of course, without delaying my own responsibilities. I think communication is the key in these situations. Very good answer. Now, Daniel, let me ask you something more personal. It's a question about your future. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What are your goals, your dreams, or your plans for the future? Well, in 5 years, I hope to be in a leadership position. I want to have more responsibilities and to be managing a team. I also want to continue learning, maybe do a master's degree, and improve my English and other skills. In my personal life, I would like to be more stable, maybe have my own apartment, and feel secure about my future. That is something important for me. I don't know exactly where life will take me, but I am sure I want to keep growing. I like your ambition, but let me ask you something very direct. Why should we hire you? Imagine I have 10 other candidates, all very smart, all with experience. Why should I choose you instead of them? Yeah, I understand this is not an easy question. I think you should hire me because I am committed and reliable. I am not afraid to work hard, and I really want to be part of this company. I know maybe other candidates have more experience, but I believe I have the right attitude and the energy to learn quickly. I will not just do my job, I will try to do it better every day. and I will do everything possible to add value to your team. All right, Daniel, let's talk about money. What are your salary expectations for this position? Please be honest. We need to know if your expectations match what we can offer. Yes, don't worry. That's always a difficult question. Mm, I think the most important thing for me is not just the salary, but the opportunities to grow and learn. That is very clear to me. Of course, I need a fair salary that reflects my skills and responsibilities. Based on my research, I would say something between 2,500 and $3,000 could be fair for this position. But I am open to negotiation because I value the experience and the chance to work here. Good answer. Now, let's imagine another situation. What could you do if you had a conflict with your manager? Your boss is asking for something you don't agree with. How would you handle that? I think in that case, the most important thing is respect. I would listen carefully to my manager and try to understand his point of view. If I really felt something was not correct, I would explain my opinion politely and suggest an alternative. If at the end my boss decides, I would follow his instructions because he is my boss. But at least I would try to communicate clearly and avoid tension. What motivates you to get up every day and come to work? Tell me, what keeps you moving even when things are hard? I think what motivates me the most is the idea of progress. I am sure of something. I don't want to stay in the same place forever. Every day, I want to be a little better than yesterday. Also, my family motivates me a lot. I want to give them stability and show them that I can build a good life through hard work. Even when I feel tired, I remember my goals, and that gives me energy. And what would you say is your biggest professional achievement so far? Well, in my last job, there was a very big sales project. At the beginning, nobody believed we could reach the target. But I worked really hard with my team. I motivated my colleagues, and I also closed some difficult sales. We all worked together. In the end, not only did we reach the target, we passed it by 20%. My manager congratulated me, and that made me feel very proud. It showed me that if you believe in yourself and work as a team, you can achieve more than you expect. I learned that. That's impressive. Let me finish with one last question. If we don't choose you for this job, what will you do next? Of course, I would feel a little disappointed because I really want this opportunity. But I always believe everything happens for a reason. If I don't get the job, I will continue applying, learning, and preparing myself. I won't stop because my goal is clear: to grow, to learn, and to become a better professional. So if not here, then somewhere else. But I would prefer to stay here because I really believe in this company. Thank you, Daniel. That's all for today. We will contact you soon with our decision. Oh, sorry. Do you have any questions for us before we finish? Yes, I do. Can you tell me what the next steps are in the process? And also, if I get the job, what kind of training or support will I receive during the first weeks? Good questions. The next step is that we will review all the candidates and then call you for a second interview, probably next week. And if you are selected, yes, we will provide training during the first month so that you can adapt to your new role. Don't worry about that. Perfect. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you, Daniel. Have a great day. So, what do you think, guys? Should I hire Daniel or not? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and share. And if you want another video with the second part of the interview, let me know.